my point is, you can't judge a book by its cover. And you will replace people here that are doing just that. All right? A long time ago, I was a finance manager. Okay, I took care of getting people their car loans at a Chrysler, Plymouth, Jaguar, DeLorean dealership. Okay, I'll give you an idea how long ago it was. It was a small dealership, and there were only 3 salespeople. So the dealer came to me and said, "If we get busy, will you talk to a customer?" And I said, "Of course." You know, and the dealer said, "You know, and if you sell them, I'll pay you the commission." I said, "You're darn right you will." So anyway, as luck would have it, you know, we had a night where Gary, who was one of our top salespeople, was busy. Jeff, who I'll tell you about in a second, was there, and me. There were just 3 of us in the store. Jeff, the week before, had sold a Jaguar. Okay? In 1982, made $800 commission. So in his infinite wisdom, he said, "I'm going to be a Jaguar salesman. I'm not selling Chryslers or Plymouths or DeLoreans. I'm going to sell Jaguars and make $800. Seems smart. Here's the problem. We were a small dealership. We only got 2 Jaguars a month. So even if he was lucky to sell both of them, he was only going to make $1,600. And I don't care that it was 1982. That's not a lot of money. But, you know, that's what he thought. So, customer comes driving up, and he was driving probably a 10-year-old Chrysler New Yorker. This thing was 3 miles long. And it was white with a white vinyl roof and white leather interior. Gets out of the thing, he's got on that blue quilted vest. You can tell the guy was a truck driver. Jeff took one look at him and got on the phone. He was busy. Gary's with a customer. Now I could have, as a manager, gone over and said, "Jeff, come on." But then the customer would see, and they wouldn't feel real good about themselves. So I went over and I greeted the customer. Okay? I said, you know, what can I show you? And he said, well, he says, "I know that they're changing the New Yorker," and they were. The next year, they were going to be 4-cylinder front-wheel drive, smaller cars. He said, "I want the big one. I want the last of the big ones. Do you?" And he's begging me, "Do you have a white on white on white? All right, white car, white vinyl with white leather interior?" And I said, you know, let me see. I said, "I'm the finance manager. You know, I know we have New Yorkers. I'll see if we have one." Well, the sales manager's like, "Whatever you do, don't let this guy go. We got to get rid of these New Yorkers. Whatever he wants." So, long story short, he comes in and he says, "I want to trade my car in." Okay? And I'm going to make up numbers because I don't remember. But let's just say the New Yorker was $13,000. His car was worth about $500. All right? So the dealer didn't even negotiate or anything. He just said, "Listen, tell him he can have $2,000 for his New Yorker." I said, "Fantastic." So that's 11, right? Which means we didn't make any money. He gave away all the profit. He just needed to get rid of the car. Well, the guy went, "Okay." He came into my finance office and he bought everything I had. I had body, this is way, way back. I had body side moldings on the wall over here. I had mud flaps. I had fancy floor mats. And he was going, "I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this." I said, "Okay, great." So he left. 2 days later, he calls up and he says, "There's a problem." All right, because back then you didn't deliver instantly. It took 2 days to get an approval. And I said, "What's the problem?" He goes, "Well, Manny down at the warehouse wants my car, and I promised him I'd sell it to him." I said, "Well, okay." He goes, "How do I do that?" Well, I didn't know what to say, so I said, "Well, you just add the $2,000 back into this price, so you're going to pay me $13,000, okay? Sell the car for Manny and bring in the $2,000 as a down payment. Your payment's going to stay basically the same." And the guy goes, "It's really that easy?" I said, "Yep." And I hung up the phone and I'm going, they don't go this easy. They really don't. Long story short, he takes delivery of the car. Friday comes, it's not in my check. I go to the dealer and I say, "You know, Ted, I sold the car." And he goes, "I forgot. Listen, I'll have my wife come down and I'll cut you another check." And I went, "You know what, it's not a big deal. I mean, I know who you are and just put it in next week's." No. He says, "It's not right. I'll do it." Next morning, it's Saturday. And we have a sales meeting every Saturday morning. So he comes in and he says to me, "Please come in the meeting." The dealer, Ted, never does a sales meeting. Sales manager does the sales meeting. Not today. Ted's doing the meeting. So he starts the meeting off and he talks about the value of his customers and how important his customers are. These are his customers. And while he's talking, he reaches into his pocket, takes out an envelope, and he hands it to Jeff. Okay? Now, By now, you guess Jeff is not at the top of the intellectual food chain. So instead of paying attention to the meaning, he starts opening the envelope, okay? Sees the amount, and he goes, $635. Oh, this is for John. Ted reaches across the desk, he grabs it away from me, hands it to me, and he goes, that's right. And if you ever judge another one of my customers again, you'll be a customer. Do you understand? Okay? The point is, you can't judge people. You cannot judge a book by its cover, ever.